These Navy culinary specialists are preparing 15 pounds of turkey, 10 pounds of ham, and pulled pork sandwiches made from scratch, along with mac and cheese, corn, mashed potatoes, and cookies.
Ooh, almost.
To serve a crew of 150 sailors.
Pulled pork, macaroni.
And they only have about 5 hours to prepare each meal.
You want the soup too?
But this isn't your typical Navy galley. This is where meals are made on a submarine. In classified locations deep at sea, the crew of the nuclear-powered USS South Dakota works around the clock to monitor
Emergency ship, manual depth 155 feet, pilot eye.
And potentially engage with foreign threats.
We're tasked to go do something, and we go do it.
For up to 9 months, they work and live within the tight confines of their windowless ship, where every role is critical to the mission's success. Among them are the culinary specialists.
Oh, yeah.
These crew members have an essential responsibility, feeding up to 150 sailors and fueling them for the challenges that lie ahead.
We are essentially the morale of the fleet. If our morale is low, their morale is going to be low. And you can usually taste it in the food.
Business Insider spent 2 days aboard the USS South Dakota while it lay in port at Naval Submarine Base New London in Groton, Connecticut, observing culinary specialists preparing breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the crew.
The USS South Dakota is a Virginia-class submarine. Specifically, it's a Block 3, meaning it has a few more capabilities and a few more modifications than the regular Virginia-class submarines. And the ship is manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week while we're in port for security reasons.
While some off-duty crew members go home to see their families, those on board rely on the meals prepared by the culinary specialists.
It might not be everyone all at once, but I'm going to feed everyone. So if I have 150 people on board, I'm going to feed 150 people pretty much almost every meal.
Because the USS South Dakota is a nuclear-powered submarine, its time at sea is limited only by the amount of food it can carry.
About 2 weeks in, you'll probably run out of fresh food. That's the unfortunate reality of it. So we have some food in the outboards. We have food in every locker imaginable. If there's space available and we can kind of quickly put food up there and maybe ratchet strap it down, we'll take that opportunity to do that.
Fully stocked, the sub carries about 90 days worth of food.
The strategy for keeping fresh food aboard a submarine is you just accept when you run out of fresh food. And the second you get an opportunity to get more fresh food on, you take that opportunity.
So today for dinner, we're having Thanksgiving. So we're having turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, hot rolls for our bread. So this right here is essentially my menu. The actual name for it is the food preparation worksheet. But layman's terms, this is essentially my menu. This tells me everything that I'm having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Today, Petty Officer CSS Wesley Whitson is preparing 10 pounds of ham and 15 pounds of turkey.
So the turkey itself, I'm gonna have to actually like cut up a little bit, throw some seasoning on. But the ham, I literally just unwrap it, throw it in the pan, wrap it up, call it a day. So that I can do real quick. So that's good with that. And then when I'm ready, I'm just gonna throw it in the oven, and then I'm just gonna let it bake out. So really easy, nothing too crazy, and done. Yay! One less thing I gotta worry about. Okay. Manning for us is supposed to be roughly about like 7 or 8. I don't have that right now, so I'm working with what I got. But because there's only so few of us, not only are we essentially manager, but I'm also the cook. I am the guy that has to make it. So I not only have to manage everything, but I have to make sure that I'm actually getting it done myself. Days will usually take care of like lunch and dinner and for the meals. The night guy will kind of help prep for lunch a little bit, but the day guys will take over and they'll finish it.
With extended deployments, confined spaces, and shifts that can last up to 12 hours, submarine assignments aren't desirable to many.
Not a lot of people wanting to join the military, but also not a lot of people wanting to join subs, within the Navy, especially as a culinary specialist, as a cook. And I get it, this job isn't for everyone.
To compensate, the Navy offers an additional $85 to $600 a month to submarine crew members based on rank and time in service. Culinary specialists who work aboard submarines earn a base salary of about $26,000.
Now I just let those set and proof. So I'll give them roughly about an hour or so, and then I'll turn it over to actually bake, and then they should be good to go. So not only am I the galley watch captain, but I am also our bulk storeroom custodian, or JOD as we call it, which stands for Jack of the Dust. That responsibility for me is to go about and do what we call breakouts, or shopping, to put it in layman's terms. They'll look at the menu, they'll write a list of like what groceries, what food items they need, or groceries, and it'll be like, I need this stuff, and I'll take it and be like, okay. And then I just go to where we keep all of our food, all the storerooms on board, and then I will break it out for them. That way they have it available for the next day.
Food is kept in storerooms, small cabinets, and other locations around the ship. But because of operational security concerns, cameras were only allowed in the galley during our visit.
Space is a luxury in a submarine, so definitely keeping food anywhere where we can to maximize the amount that we have on board. So actually in all of these bench seats we'll have food, as well as these backs we'll have some extra dry provisions. And that'll be the same for all these bench seats. That'll have some maple syrup, chocolate syrup, strawberry syrup. So any kind of random select items like that. We'll have soy sauce in those. We'll have seasoning in these outboard ones. Yeah, so we got bags of soup in there. So I am the supply officer CHOP on board. What that means, I'm responsible for both the food service division and the logistics division. So the first storeroom I have is the forward storeroom, or the can room, which, as the name implies, is just full of cans. Typically this room is actually a lot more full, with cans coming all the way up to this front door and then actually going to the ceiling. So as we fill this up with more cans, kind of like deciding what we're going to use first and making sure those are actually put in the front. When the guys need to get something out of the freezer, they'll actually put a jacket on, get a headlamp on, get a beanie on, pretty much just layer up like they're going to go in a cold area. Like this area is below freezing most of the time. Right now it's negative 3.9 degrees.
All food aboard submarines is logged and tracked every day, and the budget for meals is determined by a daily allowance per sailor.
If we're in port, we can spend anywhere from like $700 to $1,000 a day, and then if we're out to sea, anywhere from about $1,600 to like $2,800 per day. We operate off of a 28-day cycle menu. We'll have the same meals every 28 days. It's definitely designed where it creates that kind of consistency throughout the week. So if you're having Italian on a night, you know it's a Thursday, or if you're having pizza for dinner, then you know it's a Saturday. So it helps the crew kind of keep their own pace, and honestly helps them pass the time. If you're like, oh wow, this is the second time we've had pizza this underway, then you know it's already been 2 weeks.
Ooh, I can smell it. Ooh, almost.
Back in the kitchen, culinary specialist Whitson has just 1 hour before the crew begins to line up for dinner.
How's it feel to be done cooking? Feels good. Good to know that all I have left is to serve this out, and then after that it's just clean up, and then I'm done. I don't got a whole lot else going on. I am going home to my wife, and I am getting my cuddles.
Richard? I'm doing great. I will take everything but the ham.
Extra ham? I got you. Extra ham. I got you. Just for you, because I know how much you love that pork.
Oh man, you already know. No corn and no soup.
Extra corn, extra soup? I got you.
It's great.
I remember
I honestly love cooking. I love being in the galley. I love working with food. I love putting out really good meals and making people happy with them. I like seeing everyone being fulfilled and having a good meal and enjoying themselves with it.
On a sub, there is no internet, cell service, or access to the outside world other than mission-critical communications and the occasional email from family transmitted via secure satellite, leaving crew members to find their own ways of staying entertained during the little downtime they get.
I'm either reading a book, watching TV, whether it be like a TV show or a movie, or I'm playing on my laptop.
My favorite way to pass time underway was honestly just spending time with my guys. Maybe if it's just playing chess in Cruise Master, like even just listening to music in my room or listening to music in the wardroom, just kind of distracting yourself in a way, but also keeping yourself busy while keeping your mind active. I think that's the best way to do it.
On every submarine, the crew's mess is designed to reflect a piece of the state it's named after. Aboard the USS South Dakota, the space draws inspiration from Deadwood's iconic Saloon Number 10.
That's where the crew goes to relax. It's also where they eat. That's also where they, kind of let their hair down and study if they need to, or play cards, play dominoes, play video games, conduct training. It's kind of all purpose. And that's what the Deadwood Saloon was to South Dakota back in the 1800s.
The next day, culinary specialist Lupin Jimenez steps into the galley, ready to prepare breakfast for the crew. On the menu this morning, steak and egg burritos, pancakes, hash browns, and bacon. It takes 3 hours to prepare the meal.
May I do a steak burrito with eggs and bacon?
And at 7, the hungry sailors make their way to the crew's mess for breakfast. As breakfast comes to an end,
When you getting that pork butt going?
Here in a couple minutes.
Oh, you guys have lunch already?
Yeah.
there's barely a moment to rest. Jimenez must quickly shift gears and start preparing lunch to make sure he can feed 150 crew members.
Time is like pretty irrelevant here on a sub because we're just working by hours. It's 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And then once we get off, it's either go have fun or go straight to bed. This is about to be the pulled pork. I'm putting the meat into the mixer along with the juices it was boiling in to shred the pork rather than me taking a long time by hand. The quicker you get it done, the less you got to worry about. But you still got a time management to the meal hour. That way it doesn't just sit on the line for a very long time because that becomes a bad thing.
Meal today that we're having for lunch, the pulled pork, mac and cheese, and the pork chowder. It's actually one of my favorite things to make. Out of all of them, the mac and cheese is probably my favorite thing to make.
I'm gonna have to give it to Millie with his mac and cheese. Sometimes he will make his favorite, which is spicy mac and cheese. Really spicy for some reason. I feel like he puts ghost pepper hot sauce in there or something. But other than that, it's good. I'm about to make some hot roll dough and turn them into buns from scratch.
How many rolls do you have to make?
I want to get at least around 100 and 120.
How many do you have so far?
Woo, I would say about probably 80. 120 will last me throughout the meal, and then it will assure me to have at least a little bit left over. That's what I'm going for. That way I don't run out.
Is it a bit more salt? Do you have potato in there?
No, we don't have potatoes.
W high? Nice.
Please do not put a lot in there.
No, I won't. I'll leave that up to you if you want to add some, but it's definitely on the thinner side. Yeah, I can do a little more salt, but it should be good.
As the lunch hour nears, the wardroom is prepared, a space designated for the ship's officers.
There's significantly less officers on board a submarine than there are enlisted, so they get their own room.
For lunch today, we have pulled pork, mac and cheese, cauliflower, and green beans. Great, thank you.
Typically used for work, relaxation, and socializing, the wardroom becomes a dining room during meal times.
For the officers, this is their place to come and eat. The family-style meal serving that happens in the wardroom is very history-rich.
While the dinner service is a privilege for the officers aboard, it's not uncommon for them to join the crew in the crew's mess.
Pulled pork, macaroni.
And so you put them together.
Got to.
Mac and cheese is always the bomb. I love pulled pork.
I like the mac and cheese, the pulled pork, and we have a soup.
Before returning to sea, the USS South Dakota will undergo thorough maintenance, followed by sea certification, a process that tests both the crew and the submarine to ensure all systems are fully operational for the next deployment.
It is exhausting, it is tiresome, and it wears on you real quick if you let it. But knowing that I'm able to feed people and that they are happy with what I put out and they look forward to what I can bring to the table, that makes it worth it for me.